What up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Happy 4th of July to all of you if you're watching this live on 4th of July. If you're doing stuff with the family or just, hanging out, enjoying your day off, please go down below, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We are obviously here to talk about the big news that came out yesterday that just 24 hours or less than 24 hours, I believe, after this staff whiffs on a wide receiver prospect, Ja'Cory Barney. They hit not a home run, in my opinion, they hit a freaking grand slam, landing Marquis Lightfoot out of Chicago, Illinois, 4-star defensive end, edge rusher, fast, twitchy, super athletic, 6'5", 220 pounds, has a frame that can fill out to probably around the 240, 245 mark by the time he gets here. I'm very excited about this pickup and also the prospects of what he can become with Jason Taylor coaching him. But if you do me a favor, go down, hit the like button. Switched it up from Cafecitos today. I'm about to slam this muscle milk because I just finished my workout. So cheers, everybody. Go ahead and do that. Oh, not bad. Tastes better than I thought it would. So, man, I just got in from – I did some weights, and I just took a nice little post weightlifting walk outside. Get my steps in, burn some fat. Dude, it is hot down here in Miami, boy. It is a scorcher. I mean, I walked maybe a mile and a half. I was dripping when I got in. Tempted to take a shower before I did this, but no, didn't have time. I was like, I got to be here for the people. Got to be here for you guys. And let's talk about this. This was an absolute home run by Mario Cristobal. Again, after whiffing on not just Ja'Cory Barney, whiffing on a few guys leading up to this pickup. But yesterday we get this news. And leading up to it, the crystal ball predictions were starting to flip. That's usually a good indication when guys like Steve Wiltfong especially switch their crystal ball prediction to a certain team just hours before their commitment announcement. They know something, and they're doing that so they can get their ratios up. Because if you look on 247, every writer has like a success rate on their crystal balls. They're rated on how accurate they are, how often they're right, how often they're wrong. So when they're all switching them last minute, there was a couple besides him. That's usually a pretty good indication. They know something's up. So, that started swirling, and then of course at I believe it was 7 p.m. last night, he announces. And all of a sudden, all the people are saying that we're out of money, that, Mario's lost his mojo, that this team, these recruits aren't buying what he's selling. All that goes quiet because this, in my opinion, is a whale. This isn't just a great prospect. It's not just a blue chipper. I think very highly of Marquis Lightfoot. Why? Marquis Lightfoot is one of those guys that can, with freakish, twitchy athleticism alone, can make up for mistakes on the field. So if he steps the wrong way on like a read option or something, with makeup speed alone, he can get there and prevent a big play, which is huge because that's what the big programs do. They put guys on the edge and guys at linebacker that can prevent big plays. Even if you make a great play call and you catch him, you're like, got him. This is a big first down. This is a touchdown. Nope. That window goes, whoosh, closes immediately. Marquis Lightfoot's one of those guys. What stands out about him to me watching his tape is his, not just his twitchiness, his quickness, but his just pure speed on the field. His ability to anticipate, there was one play where he knocked a pass down, and it wasn't a play where he was, because sometimes by design, it's like you rush the quarterback, and if you see he's dropping back for a screen or something, you backpedal and you try to time the jump. It looked like this dude just pretty much reacted. He was rushing the passer, and when he saw that arm come up, he jumped what looked like 20 feet in the air, knocked the ball up in the air. His buddy picked it off and ran it back for a touchdown. That's the kind of athlete that we just got. And that's what Mario Cristobal is trying to do. He's not just, trying to get the best out. He's trying to improve the overall athleticism and speed of the team. Because one thing that has really held us back, especially on defense, on the edge and at linebacker specifically, lack of pure athleticism, in my opinion. Now, for the most part, the biggest problem of this program has been lack of player development. That's been problem number one. There's been a lot of problems, but that's problem number one. But if I had to focus on two positions, D-end, linebacker, I think the bigger problem, on top of not developing them, the bigger problem there is not recruiting the right guys. I see a little Jalen Phillips there. I could see that. I could see Jalen Phillips. He's kind of a blend of Phillips and Rousseau, because Rousseau had that crazy length, and he also played receiver. This young man lines up at receiver. There was one play on his huddle tape that he runs this post, like whatever that route's called, not post in, but post out, like towards the pylon. And he got butt naked wide open. Catches it, runs it. I mean, just left the whole secondary in the dust. Dude has crazy speed for being so big. So that part of his game reminds me of Rousseau, and also his bend. Because I look at him getting to the quarterback, he looks damn near unblockable. He reminds me of Rousseau now. He just has that natural bend like Gumby. He just gets by the blocker with either a pure bull rush and just splits the blockers when they're trying to double team him, or he just gets underneath him. He has that very raw ability. You can build on that by working on his hand technique and stuff, because I didn't see a ton of, like, you know, using those hand techniques, that stuff. You know, his toolkit is probably not super diverse, but, you know, that's what coaches are for. They'll develop that in him at the college level, but the natural freakish ability is there. And again, he's only 220 pounds. He'll put on some weight very quickly. They need to capitalize on a talent like that year one. Because if you just like kind of let it sit and rot, you don't build on that talent and put 20 pounds of muscle on him, and just elevate his game to the next level year one, you're going to lose a lot. And that's where we've faltered in the past. But I have no problem I have no worries. Jason Taylor is going to be able to get that out of him. Q, is it butt naked or buck naked? That's a good question. I'm not sure. I've heard both. Kane, Idaho, what's up, sir? Happy 4th of July to you. JT beat out OSU for his first recruit. Let it sink in. Oh, I'm letting it sink in, and there's more to come. JT is not done at the D-line position. We are, like I said, improving the athleticism overall on the team, but specifically guys getting to the quarterback and guys, you know, in the middle of that defense. In other words, the linebackers, guys that need to cover and stop the run. You need to have athletes. They may be a 5-star, they may be a 3-star, you know, like Vincent Shapers, or they may be like a super talented guy like blue chipper like Chris Cole. Either way, you know, you're bringing length, size, and speed to those positions. Whether they're underrated, overrated, whatever, give me athleticism. Give me guys that if we make a mistake, we lean the wrong way on a bootleg or a play action, oh, it's not a huge play. It's we can make up for it and keep it to a 5-6 yard gain. Live to fight another day. You know what I mean? That's what we've been missing in certain parts of the defense. So let me know, guys. What do you think? You know, how do you guys feel about the pickup? Does it make you feel? Give me a thumbs up if all of a sudden that kind of erases the Ja'Cory Barney thing and the doubt that settled in after that, and you're like, you know what? I'm back to where I was before. I'm good. You know, I feel very confident we're gonna finish with a good class. Give me a thumbs up for that, or thumbs down if you're like, listen, I need to wait. I need to see it first. I need, you know, I'm not sure. I need to see a little bit more. I need to see him on the field. You let me know. McCray. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up, Kane, Idaho. Barney, a dime a dozen. Thumbs up. So far, thumbs up. We need Franklin, Jones. McRae, Cunningham, and Stewart. That's the top of the line D class with Lightfoot and Russell. Yeah. That would be the greatest D-line haul we've ever had, and it wouldn't even be close. Yeah, wasn't worried with Barney's decision. I trust Mario, and so that's kind of how I felt. I do need to see how they do on the field, because obviously you got to lock these guys in now. It can't be a disaster on the field like last year. Another thumbs up. So, well, people are feeling pretty good. Let's see. What else did I miss? Jalen Phillips, who would you compare? Answered that already. Fam, we need a D tackle or 3. I have no concern that we're going to do that. There's one I feel really good about. There's a handful of others that I'm like, yeah, I totally see us getting at least 2. Or 1, and then we get a 3rd that may not be on anybody's radar at the moment. Let's see. McRae, Stone, Jaden Jones, Lightfoot would be a haul. I still have faith in the whole David Stone thing. I know it's not Alabama, Oklahoma. It's between us and them pretty much. I want Stone bad. Yeah. The dude has pretty much lived on campus. He's visited many, many, many times. So I know he loves Miami. I know if we win, I'm pretty confident we'll get Trader. Jeremiah Smith, even if we win, that's going to be a bit of a long shot. But winning ups our chances tremendously. I haven't heard anybody. Nobody's mentioned Aiden Breland. Has Aiden Breland? Did he commit? Maybe I missed that. I don't think he did. Not that I know of. I don't know if we're going to get Aiden Breland, but that's a dude that impresses me a lot. He and Dylan Stewart, in my opinion, are the 2 best D linemen in the country. Dylan Stewart might be the best overall defensive player in this cycle. Nope. Okay, so he has not committed anywhere. Stewart with Lightfoot. Those are elite 2 rush ends. T.A. Cunningham. A lot of good names. This is a very deep defensive line class. Aiden going at SEC or USC. He's a USC lean. Yeah, so lots to be happy about here. I did some numbers, and while I don't put too much stock in the star system with individual guys, I do, however, big picture overall, you should have over a 50% blue chip ratio on your squad. I think we're at like 51 or 52% right now, the way the roster sits. And what that means is more than 50% of your roster should be 4 or 5-star players. And on top of that, there's another thing that I believe in, that each class should be right at that, 0.9 rating percentile, because 247, they're composite, where they get an average of all the ranking systems, Rivals, On3, ESPN, everybody. And they rate each recruit. I believe Marquis Lightfoot is like a perfect recruit is a 1.0. Like that's your Cam Newton, that's your DJ Williams, that's your Derrick Henry. Those guys are like 1.0 or 0.999999. This usually 5 stars are like 0.96, 0.97 and up. Usually 0.97, I think. Marquis Lightfoot is, I believe, a 0.95 or a 0.96. So that raises our average a lot. A lot of the guys we've been getting are 0.88, 0.89. Chance Robinson's like a 0.94. You get the picture. I'm rambling. So I did the average of the 15 commits we have right now. We're sitting at a 0.8857, something like that. 0.88 and a half. Not bad. We're close. We're right there. You want to finish at or above that 0.9 average. But factor this in, and I did. Abram Murray, who's rated 0.80, he's a low 3-star, but he's the 3rd best kicker in the country. So I think that throws it off. I removed him. I did the average again out of 14 guys, and we're at like a 0.89. Again, right there. So I'm good with that. I think a few of these 3-stars, and when I have Rasta on later this week, well, tomorrow is when we're scheduled to have him on. We'll dive deeper into that. These underrated recruits will be the theme of the show. I really believe at least 2 or 3 of those 3-star guys are going to get a 4th star, or at the very least, get a huge rankings boost and be like right on the borderline. Guys like Dalen Russell, Chris Wheatley-Humphrey, Vincent Shavers, even Cameron Pruitt. I'm surprised at 6'3". What? I don't think he's 187. He's like 200, I would say. It's hard for being 6'3" and, looking like that to be under 190 pounds. That's just my opinion. But Cameron Pruitt's another guy. So there's a handful of dudes that I think are candidates to be that. Isaiah Thomas is another one. Isaiah Thomas, I think on Rivals or on 3, one of those, he's a 4-star. So, some people do think very highly of Isaiah Thomas. I believe he was the one that was dealing with an ACL injury, if I'm not mistaken. It was either him or Ricky Knight, one of these DBs. I think it was Isaiah Thomas. He missed a chunk of his junior year. Turn on his tape. It's very impressive. We'll talk about cornerback for sure, because I know a couple of you guys had questions on the last stream. I will say this, where I stand at corner right now, we got to land at least one, like stud. Yeah, because you got to stack that with who we brought in last year. We brought in Damari Brown, Robert Stafford. I think very highly of both of them. Robert Stafford's just raw talent. Like Zoe said it best. Talent is talent. You can't deny talent. Robert Stafford has it. He has that edge factor. Damari Brown, elite. Elite. I love Damari Brown. Then you added a bunch of transfers. Devontae Brown, his brother. You added Demetrius Freeney, great pickup. The 2nd best JUCO corner in the nation. You added Jadeus Richard, who has 3 years of eligibility left. About as good a replacement for Cormani McClain as you can get, because similar length, similar size, and looked really good as a freshman in the SEC. So that was not a bad replacement. A guy with more experience, and you beefed up the numbers there, the experience, the amount of depth you have there. They did a good job with corner overall. Going into this class, if you could stack a couple more studs on top of that, maybe you flip an Ellis Robinson, or it's someone we don't know of yet. You got to get somebody in addition to the guys they've gotten, who I think can also develop very well. But you gotta with those few guys you've gotten, you gotta hit with the exclamation point at the end. You gotta land a high-rated blue chipper. That way you have that nice mix. Another guy besides Ellis Robinson is Sanoa Lele, of course, Demetrius Freeney's teammate out in College of San Mateo. He's not only the number 1 corner in JUCO, I think he's the number 1 overall player in JUCO. They're working on him for the next cycle. So I think Ellis and that young man are the 2 big targets. Land one of them, and I'm more than pleased. That's a couple years in a row that you've stacked real legit talent at corner. Another thing we've been missing. We have not done a good job recruiting that position, up until maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. Birdstone says, John, do you think it's necessary to get another tight end this cycle, or we use that spot for another wide receiver? That's an interesting point. I think because this is an offense that supposedly is going to feature the tight end. I think it will. I believe it when they say that, because Mario Cristobal likes tight ends. He likes tight ends that can block. And certainly Elijah Lofton is that guy. But I think you have to pair him with a more flex receiver kind of tight end, a 6'4", 6'5" guy with length who can go up and get footballs. So I think they're going to leave. Yeah, I think it is necessary to have that other tight end, because you can flex him out and use him as a receiver, use him as a red zone threat. I hope they do that with Jaleel Skinner this year, because he was sitting there on your bench last year. We struggled mightily in the red zone and never used him, never even thought of using whatever size we do have as an advantage against these, middle tier SEC or ACC corners. We didn't even try it, which really bothered me. You're cool with Eli. Look, I'm good with Eli too. I need to pair him with more of a receiving tight end. Chris Gons, thank you, sir. Happy 4th of July to you. We are so stacked at the end. That's another position that I think, and I'll end on this. That's another position that I think we're doing a tremendous job stacking. You bring in, Hakeem Mesidor last year, a calendar year ago. You bring him in as a transfer. He does a tremendous job. He was maybe our best defensive lineman the entire season. It was either him or LT, but he was out there the most. He comes back this year. You add Jaden Wayne, who's an absolute freak. He's a stud. He's like another Marquis Lightfoot type of talent with JT coaching him. You got, who else? Ruben Bain, obviously. Just an absolute animal. I think the guy has the potential to be like Ring of Honor great. That's how highly I think of Ruben Bain. I don't say that with prospects normally that haven't played an official down yet. But what I've seen, I mean, he's not just what I saw in the spring game, but he's one of those talents that he's so good, it's a problem in practice. Like he's too disruptive. Okay. And then on top of those guys, now you bring in Marquis Lightfoot. You're going after the Dylan Stewarts of the world. Not that we're going to get them. Maybe, I've been surprised before. Not that we're going to get them. I'm saying we're going after guys of that ilk. John, already people panicking. I'm not worried. We got to show improvement. Let's see. We got to show improvement if we win games, compete against Clemson, FSU, A&M, pull off an upset here and there. We win 8 games, go 8-4. Recruits will see that. Yeah, I agree with you. Also, how, style points matter. Like, are we scoring points in those games? If we turn the corner in the falls, we'll see that, and I think we are. Out of our running backs, who will see the field most frequently this year? Hard guess, but who do you see? Also, do you think Hurricane Bain will start before the end of the season? I'll answer your second question first. Yes, I think Ruben Bain will be a starter by the season's end. 100%. He will crack that starting lineup. I think he's that good. Who will see? When you say big running backs, I think you don't mean big in stature, right? You mean like big name running backs? Because if I'm just talking in general, I think the running back that's going to see the most playing time this year is going to end up being A.J. Allen, believe it or not. But of the bigger guys, stature-wise, we're going to see some Mark Fletcher, definitely. We don't have a lot of big guys beyond that, though. I mean, Trevante Citizen's got decent size to him. He'll contribute, but I don't think he'll be the Trevante Citizen we're expecting. It's going to take a year to really get back to what he was, because that was a serious injury he had. Don Chaney's going to get in there. If it's the old Don Chaney, maybe he ends up being the starter. But I just think on experience alone and what he did last year, I think it's going to be a 3-headed monster at running back. A.J. Allen, I think, will end up being the starter on the depth chart, but it's going to be a combination of A.J. Allen, Don Chaney, and Henry Parrish. It's going to be those three really manning the show in the backfield. Fletcher, Citizen, Chaney. I think the first 2 names you mentioned are the future. Next year, oh boy, with Kevin Riley and Chris Wheatley-Humphrey and Chris Johnson, oh boy. I told you that room is now starting to look like how it should look talent-wise. John, which new guy, transfer portal freshman, do you think will make an impact on our defense and offense? All right. I'm serious now. This I'll end on. Okay. This will be the last question. Which new transfer portal guy? I'll start with offense. Yeah, the guy I just mentioned, AJ Allen, I think makes the biggest impact. While I think those two receivers like Tyler Harrell, Shamar Kirk, I think Shamar Kirk's going to be nice. I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised. Like, oh, this guy's a serious contributor. Yeah, I like Shamar Kirk a lot, but I'd have to give it to AJ Allen because I think he's going to shoulder more of the load than people think, and he's going to make some plays. That guy's a gamer. Birdstone says Shamar Kirk. Okay, I'm right there with you. It's 1A, 1B between him and AJ Allen. And on defense, I would say Francisco Mauigoa. What I saw in that spring game, that he's head and shoulders above the rest of that room right now. Sorry to say. Aside from Wesley Bissaint. Wesley Bissaint, I think, will have an all ACC type of season. He's going to take a major step forward. But yeah, Francisco's just different size, different athleticism for that size, short tackler, experience. He just checks so many boxes. You know, he's not a question mark. Wes, we've seen enough that he's not a question mark, but he's just finished his freshman year. He's still young. So we'll see there. After that, Chase Smith is I love Chase. If he could just get himself healthy and get on the field, it's over. He's going to destroy people on that field. But the injuries are still a question mark. And Malik Bryan, he's a freshman, so it's still a question mark. Still remains to be seen what he's going to do. So, still building that room. It's going to take a couple years. But that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your 4th of July. Just wanted to come on here and discuss the major pickup of Marquis Lightfoot. Very excited. And more will be coming at that position. More will be coming. I guarantee it. You are not going to You're not going to be disappointed with our defensive line haul. I'll just tell you that. Anyways, guys, take care. Enjoy your day. I'm going to finish my protein, get your workout in, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.